Hi everyone, welcome back. So today's video is going to be a Q&A. Basically over the last few weeks and I guess months, I've kind of been keeping track of like the really common questions that I get a lot, because I think as things are getting a bit busier and just my career is getting a bit busier in general, I'm not always able to answer all the DMs or all the emails, and that really like gets to me. I hate not being able to answer all the time. So I figured this would be a really good video to do because there's certain questions that are just really common and they're the ones that get asked the most. So I figured by having a video here with the most popular questions, at least then I'd have this on my channel, and if ever you were wondering the answers, they'll always be here in this video. So there are 10 that I picked out. I went through all the DMs and I've been keeping track of all the emails and everything, and these are the 10 that were the most popular. So let's get right into it. Okay, so the first question is, why did you move to New York? And to be honest, this is actually probably one of the most popular questions, and I could go on for ages, but the short answer is that when I was in university back in Ireland, in Galway, I used to come to New York in my summers interning. I'd never really been here before. I came here once when I was like 12 or something, and I just think I was too young to even know what it was about back then. But I came here in my summers, interning at different fashion companies and different fashion designers and at Fashion Week and all that kind of stuff. And my first summer here just made me realize that New York is a place where whatever you want to do, you can do it. And I think I just got hooked to that kind of idea. So then I used to come the next summer, and then I was able to get the grad visa, and now I'm here 3 years later full time. So yeah, to kind of like recap, I think I moved here because I just loved the way it kind of gave me confidence. As soon as I came here, obviously it's very tough. New York is not for the faint-hearted. You really have to work hard, and there's really bad days here, but the good days always make up for it. But what I love about New York is that genuinely whatever you put your mind to, you can do it, and everyone's kind of at the same playing ground or the same kind of level, and then it just depends how hard you work and how much passion you put into something here. But whatever it is you want to do, you can do it. And I just got addicted to that whole idea and that whole kind of mindset that's here. That's why I moved here. I just got addicted. I truly believe that New York is somewhere you either love or you hate. There's rarely an in-between, and you always seem to know straight away whether you like it or not. And straight away when I came here, I knew I loved it. So here I am 3 years later. Okay, and then question number 2 is, how do you stay motivated? This is another really popular question that I get, and I don't know, I guess you really have to love what you do, and that comes down to everything. Like whether you're playing sports, whether you're in school, whether you're in college, whether it's in your career, in your job. Like if you don't love what you're doing, and if you don't kind of have like a deeper level of love for it, then you're never going to stay motivated. And of course there are days that I don't want to do anything. Like even this morning before I was filming all these videos, I kind of had that like feeling like, oh, I just would love to not do this today. But then you kind of just take a step back and you're like, no, like this is all I ever wanted to do. Like this is what I've worked towards. Sit down and film the video, Erika. And you just have to kind of remind yourself every now and again. So if ever I'm kind of feeling a bit deflated or uninspired, or I just aren't in the mood, I just remind myself of my why, like why I'm doing this, why I love it, why I'm so lucky, and then straight away I get back into it. Okay, and then question number 3 is, what are your hair secrets? And being honest, I don't have any like groundbreaking secrets. I think a big thing is that my hair, this is my natural color. I've never dyed it, so I think just off the bat I've always been good to my hair. Obviously people color their hair and it's such a common thing to do, but I guess I just never did. I like my color, and as I got older I really got to love my color, and I just would never dye it. So I think that keeps it very healthy. And then in relation to products that I use, I shampoo, condition, and then I usually use a hair oil. And also more often than not, instead of an actual conditioner, I'll use a hair mask, like an in-shower hair mask. I swear by them. They're literally the best things ever, and straight away my hair just feels soft and shiny. I think it just keeps it in really good condition. In relation to the brands I love, definitely Kerastase, Kiehl's, I think L'Oreal have some really good ones as well. I'm always trying to find new ones. There's one called Oribe. I want to try more of their stuff. Nexus, I've heard that's really good. There's loads. I'm always kind of switching and changing because I feel like like your skin, different times of the year your hair needs different products. So if my hair feels like dry and needs kind of hydration, I know I have to switch up to something that suits that. So be mindful of how your hair feels at the certain times, and that will kind of help you choose the right products. But I think if I had to pick, Kerastase is like my all-time favorite. I love their hair oil, I love their in-shower mask. So if you do want to invest in one of the kind of more expensive, I guess, kind of more investment hair brands, I definitely would go with Kerastase. Okay, and then the next question is, what do you miss most about home? In case you don't know, I'm from Ireland originally. I'm from Kerry and then a small village called Glenbeigh. It's a really small village. I spent my whole life there growing up, went to college in Cork, went to college in Galway, and then basically just moved to New York. So I kind of went straight from Ireland to New York, and of course there's so many things I miss. Obviously, number one, my family, my parents are there, all my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, my friends, everything. So that's like the number one thing. But then I'm also really lucky that my sister Kaylin's here, my boyfriend, like I have a really good group here too, so that definitely helps. What else do I miss? The chocolate, the food, like in general, 100%. I just think the food in Ireland, it's healthier and like just more kind of local, and it just feels so much better. So I definitely miss that. Yeah, that's about it. But I have to say that for any of you moving away or like thinking about moving away, it can be so daunting, and I guess you're really going out of your comfort zone, and you're moving to a whole new place, you mightn't know anybody, you're leaving your best friends behind, and it's so daunting. But please remember that it will be really hard for a while, but then it gets so good, and wherever you go, that will turn into your home. And if you find a good group of friends and a job that you love and a nice place to live, and even just a decent place to live, if you have a bed, everything will be so good. And of course you'll miss home, but the experience of living away is just absolutely invaluable, and you'll learn so much from it, and also about yourself from it too. So never let the fear get in your way, because home is always there. And you know what, if you move away and things don't work out, you could always go back. So yeah, kind of a random end to that answer. But I do get asked about moving away as well, so hopefully that might help some of you too. Question is, what foundation and colour do you wear? And I have to say, probably 90% of the time I wear NARS All Day Illuminous, and there are a few shades that I kind of like fluctuate in between, so I'll put all the shades, the exact names below, but it's always the NARS All Day Illuminous. I absolutely love that foundation. I do try other ones now and again, but if I'm filming a video or doing a photo shoot, or if I just need my makeup to stay on the whole day, I immediately reach for my NARS All Day Luminous. So if you haven't tried it, definitely check it out. It's good coverage, it feels nice and light on, even that it's quite heavy coverage, and it just looks great in video and pictures, and it's a real kind of like reliable foundation, and I love it. So I'll link all the details below. And then the next question is a really good question. How do you find a work-life balance? What is your tips and tricks, or what's your secret to finding that balance? And I'll be completely honest, I don't have a really good work-life balance. I'd be lying to you if I said that I did. I try really hard, and it's something that I'm always working on. But I think when you work for yourself, or if you really love your job or whatever it is, it can be really hard not to want to keep improving and doing better, and then as a result you find it kind of tricky to take time off. But what I am finding lately is that I take Sundays off, so I'll still Instagram, I'll still story, I'll vlog, whatever it is, but like I'm not ever really in front of my computer or laptop or filming a video or whatever it is on a Sunday. I just keep that for myself, and I go around the place in New York and I try a new restaurant, or I go to a new bar, or whatever it is. I just really kind of like get out of the work zone, and since I started doing that, it just makes me so much more energized for Monday. Because before, I used to literally try and work the whole weekend, and then I would come back into Monday and I'd be so tired and so exhausted, and just I wasn't feeling creative because my mind was like tired from working all weekend. So just by taking that one day off has made such a difference. So find your time off, like find the best time for your time off where you completely switch off. That's the trick. And obviously, you know, I don't have kids or I don't have like crazy amount of responsibility right now in my life, so I'm really lucky that I can take a full day off on Sunday to myself. But if you do have kids or if you have other responsibilities, it's definitely tricky, and I have so much respect for working moms and working dads, and it's a lot. So again, it's probably even harder, you know, for somebody who has those responsibilities as well. But even if it is just 1 hour on a Wednesday evening or 1 hour on a Thursday afternoon that you just have for you, like carve it out, like put that in your calendar. I think that when you're planning your week, unless you slot in time for things, like you slot in your hour on a Thursday morning to work out, you slot in your hour on a Tuesday evening to go meet your best friend for a drink, like you have to schedule that time. It has to be a priority. Unless your downtime isn't a priority, it's not going to happen. So that's kind of my trick. I plan I plan when my time off is, and it definitely works. And don't forget that there's never the perfect balance. You know, some weeks will be better than others. Some weeks you'll feel chilled and relaxed, and the next week you'll feel like everything is literally falling down around you. But that's just life. Like, none of us have it completely figured out, but just find a way that keeps you sane and keeps you excited and kind of happy about things. And it mightn't happen overnight. You might have to work and change things around and just see what works best, and it could take weeks or months to figure it out, but you will get there eventually. Next question is, what would you do if you weren't a blogger? Good question as well. I think I definitely would have my own business still. All throughout school, my favorite subjects were always business and entrepreneurship, both in school and college, and I always knew that I wanted to work for myself. I just didn't really know it would be Retro Flame or that it would be so soon. In my head, I thought that maybe I'd have to work with a company or different companies for like 5 or 6 years or even longer, and then I'd launch my own thing. So it was always in the back of my head to have my own business, but I'm really lucky that it happened kind of sooner than later with Retro Flame. But yeah, if it wasn't Retro Flame, I think it would probably be like another brand. I have a feeling I would launch a brand. I'm not sure even what it would be. Maybe in fashion, who knows, but I think I always would have like aimed to have my own something to kind of market and promote. Like, marketing is a really big passion of mine. That's why I studied in college. I worked in marketing with fashion brands over here and different things like that in PR, so I love that side of things. Yeah, I think I would have just worked on my own brand, and hopefully that would have worked out too. Okay, and then next up is, what did you study in college? Long story short, I studied commerce and marketing. I went to NUIG in Galway, and then I also did a year in a fashion course. So it was a fashion business course in a college called GTI in Galway as well. So I have like my business marketing degree and also a year of fashion business, which covered PR and marketing, graphic design, event management. It was a really kind of good like all around one. And then putting them together, I totally knew that I wanted to go into fashion and have my own business as well. So yeah, I did 4 years altogether. I didn't do a master's, I didn't do postgrads. I decided to, instead of going back after finishing college, where a lot of my friends were going back doing masters and like further education, instead I decided to just get experience and go out on my own. And I took a year out before I moved to New York, and in that year I just really worked on Retro Flame. And to be honest, I was earning nothing. I was living at home with my parents in Kerry after spending 4 years in college, and I just spent that whole year building up Retro Flame, and I didn't even know where it was going, to be honest. I knew that I was going to move to New York the following year and work with a company, so I knew that it wouldn't be like the start of full-time Retro Flame, but I knew that before I moved to New York I wanted to get Retro Flame just a little bit more established so that I could really like continue to grow it once I got to New York. So I took a year out, lived at home, didn't really have much expenses. I wasn't making that much. I used to work with my dad as well. He has like an online tire company, so I used to help his marketing, and that kind of like kept me going, like expenses wise and money wise. And then I saved up that whole year, and then I moved to New York the following year. And this could just be me, but lately I find that online, it's probably not just me, I'm pretty sure everyone's noticing it, but there's been a lot of negativity, I think, put towards bloggers and influencers and YouTubers and whatever. And I think sometimes, not all of you of course, but I think sometimes people jump to conclusions about us a little bit. They kind of just assume that we woke up one morning and wanted to be a blogger and decided to just start this, and you know, we don't have any experience or education, or you know, we didn't work for what we have. And that's why I do love like getting to know people, and all the bloggers that I follow and all the YouTubers that I follow, I always like, after a while, if I like them, I look into their background. I'm always so like pleasantly surprised to see like how much they have behind them. And that's the thing, you know, when it comes to bloggers, we're not all the same, and there's been so much negativity and a lot of weird conversations I've come across online, and to be honest, I don't really ever get involved that much. But you just can't paint us all with the same brush. Like, we're all so different. I think just before you judge, you should always look into people, you know, respect the journey that we've taken. And I'm really proud to have my education behind me, and I think for me, I'm really proud of like what has happened with Retroflame, because when I moved to New York, it was, as I said, it was only small. I went straight into full-time work, and then I was interning, and my summers here I was interning, and like I think it was all building up for me to do my own thing, but it took so much time and so much work and so much failure and like wondering what I was doing. So I know that I'm always really proud of what I do now, and I never really kind of like let people bring me down in that way. And I just see so many people online bashing bloggers, and a lot of them probably have no idea and haven't taken the time to look into that person's background or taken a step back to see how hard they've worked. They just assume that all bloggers are the same, and like 100% there are certain bloggers out there that maybe don't deserve where they are, or they've lied, or they've cheated, or they've bought followers, or they've photoshopped pictures, whatever it is, and they've like conned their way to the top. But there's also so many bloggers and so many YouTubers that have just worked and worked and worked, and it's now finally paying off. So I think that when you do follow a blogger, and if they are annoying you, or like if you don't really like them, or you don't think they deserve the follow, just kind of unfollow them and move on, and just follow the people that you are really happy for, and that you really are happy to see that their hard work has paid off, and that they're doing things, I guess, the right way and the honest way and the true way. And yeah, that's kind of a bit of a long spiel onto that question. But yeah, I think people are always shocked when I do say that I have that background and experience and blah blah blah. I think some people are, you know, they don't really know. It's always worth looking into people's background and never assume, never judge a book by its cover. Next up is your favorite New York spots. This one is probably the one I get every single day. People coming to visit, or you're living here, you're new, whatever. And I actually have a whole blog post, so I'll link that below. I go through restaurants, cafes, hotels, everything. It's all in one post. So I'll link that in the description box, and you can just see everything in one post. But I think my all-time favorite spots, I will just go through a few here. There's a restaurant called ABC Kitchen. It is divine, so good, expensive but definitely worth the treat. And I also absolutely love the Boathouse in Central Park. It's such a classic. I think it closes for like a certain time of the year, but if you are here when it's open, definitely go. It is just, it's really special. Okay, and the next one is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like, what is your plan? And I have to say, I hate this question so much. Like, if this is ever in an interview that I do say for like a paper or magazine or something, or if someone asks me, I don't know, in some sort of interview, I just hate this question so much. And not because I don't like kind of planning my future and looking forward to my future and setting goals and dreams and all that, but I truly believe that none of us know where we're going to be in 5 years. Like, everything changes, like things change so fast, and I think every year you look back and you're like, whoa, like things were so different this time last year. Like, what are they going to be like in 3 years time? So I'm definitely all for the dreams and the goals, and setting those huge targets and reaching them. But I'm also a big advocate of like not focusing too much on certain things, and just not getting stressed out by like thinking that you have to be doing a certain thing in 5 years time or 3 years time or whatever it is. Just go with the flow. Like, everything happens for a reason. Timing is really important. Things will go wrong and things will go right. It's just like all part of it. Like, have your kind of vague idea, but don't get too bogged down by it. For me, like, I probably will be still in New York, all going well. If I get more visas, and as long as Retroflame is going really well here, fingers crossed, I probably will stay here. And I just hope to kind of keep growing and keep expanding and doing new things. I would love to start my own brand, like something completely separate to Retroflame. I love Retroflame, and it's like my baby that I will never leave go of. Just see it growing growing and growing every year. It's so nice. But I think to keep myself interested and just to keep myself like passionate about like getting up every Monday morning, I think I definitely want to start something else as well and just kind of use my business background and kind of brand background as well. So hopefully in the next couple of years now that will happen as well. And yeah, that's my answer to that one. And that is everything. I hope that was helpful. I hope you learned a thing or two maybe, or if you had a question that you were always wondering, hopefully I answered it for you. I love doing these Q&As, and I definitely would love to do more of them, maybe kind of more specific ones. I could do one just about career, or just about New York, or just about fashion, just kind of more specific ones, and hopefully they'll provide some insight for you. So let me know in the comments below if you have any more questions and I can get working on them for the next ones. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.